Hi you guys, it's Lauren here. I'm just coming back to give you guys some updates. Over the course of the past week, I scheduled my surgery and I'm going to be going to Tijuana, Mexico on November 8th. Well, November 8th is going to be my surgery date. I'm going to be leaving on November 7th and coming back on the 12th. I just booked my tickets today and I'm very excited. I've done quite a bit of discussing back and forth with the company and the doctor that I'm going to be using in Mexico over the past week, and we've been talking about things like diet and exercise and just what to expect, financing, all different things. One thing that I didn't expect was to be put on a diet right away. I knew that I would have to do some type of 2 or 3 or whatever week pre-op diet, but the nutritionist would like me to get started right away, which makes sense to me, and I'm excited to get started with. I don't know if any of you guys are planning on it, but I'm planning on not having a food funeral. I know a lot of people do it, but I feel like over the past couple of weeks, while I've been thinking about surgery and stuff like that, I haven't really been eating the greatest. So I'm kind of ready to get back on track. And I have about 2 months and 2 days now to start dieting, and they'd like me to lose like 18 pounds, which I know on the pre-op diet a lot of people lose a lot of weight pretty quickly, but I don't want to just count on that. I also want to feel healthy, and they'd like me to cut out carbs, which for me are really like a food trigger. So I'm ready to start trying to take that on. So we'll see how that goes. I'll update you guys as I go too. And eventually I'll get on here with stats and stuff, but I'm not going to get into that today. I'm just really excited. I booked my flights this evening after work, and I'm going to be flying from Portland, Maine, and from Portland we're going to go to JFK in New York, and then from JFK we'll go to San Diego, and the flight back will work the same way, but in reverse, obviously. So I'm excited. We got really good seats actually, and we're gonna fly through Delta. I had some Sky Miles that I have not used, and I really should have used them a long time ago. So we used those towards the ticket, which helped out a little, but Delta Sky Miles and like Delta in general is just so expensive, and I prefer to fly more cheaply usually. And I don't know if I've told you guys, but like my husband is from the Netherlands, so we go back and forth sometimes, and we like never take Delta because it's so expensive to go to Holland back and forth flying on Delta or any major airline like that. Like last time we went through Icelandair, and we stopped in Iceland, and that was really cool. And that's a tangent anyway. Moving on. So yeah, I'm gonna start my diet. I had bought a bunch of groceries like the day before, I guess it was like 2 days ago, and they weren't like with the diet in mind, but I did buy some chocolate Premier protein shakes. I'm like a big chocolate fan, chocolate person. So I bought some of those to try them. And I wasn't even planning on starting a diet immediately, but I just thought I would try them, and they're really not that bad. I had my husband try it before I even tried it, and he was like, oh, this is really good. I would just drink this. And then I tried it, and I think I'm like a little bit more of a chocolate, like I love real chocolate than he is kind of person. And so I tried it, and I was like, this is okay. It's not my favorite, but I can live with it for sure. And I'm starting to get really nervous about the 2-week pre-op diet. Like, I feel like that's just going to be so hard because it's just protein shakes and vegetables and like green vegetables. I can't even like go for a squash soup or anything. And it'll be really hard, but I'm definitely going to do it the best that I can. I can't imagine wanting to like cheat on it or anything at this point, because I feel like that's kind of like, well, it's kind of cliche, but like it's cheating on my own like weight loss journey or anyway. So we'll see. I'm really looking forward. I'm like very excited tonight. And it's actually mine and my husband's 3-year anniversary tonight, but I just can't stop talking about this. So anyway, it's been fun. He's excited too. He's never been to Mexico. And I have been to Mexico when I was like a kid, but not like as an adult. So I'm excited to see Mexico too. And I've never been to San Diego. Like if I've been to or the part of Mexico that I've been to is like, I don't know, somewhere like where we stopped on a cruise on the East Coast, definitely not the West Coast. So that'll be interesting to see. We ended up having to kind of plan around flights and weird stuff like that. I was in contact with like the concierge at the company that I'm going to do the weight loss surgery through, and they were saying that like you need to arrive at a certain time and leave after a certain time, and I didn't realize that, and I had kind of like planned my date of surgery based on the price of flights and like what dates were the cheapest flights, and it turns out I can't take those flights anyway. Another reason we ended up using Delta, because they have just a lot of different connecting flights throughout the country, and also a lot of their planes that fly to smaller airports like in Portland and Maine are like rows of 2 and 2, and like me and my husband can sit in that, and I'd really rather not like sit next to a stranger or feel as crammed in, especially after the surgery. So we are going for those flights, and we have the Sky Miles, so whatever, don't judge. That's my dog Fred. He's really cute. He's totally passed out. Probably thinks I'm crazy. We're talking to myself over here. Anyway, so I'm gonna start the diet soon, and the kind of diet that they want me to start is like an Atkins style diet, which I've done a million times. I know I can do it, so I'm gonna get started on that, and I hope that I lose like 10 of the 18 pounds that they want me to lose before I even start the pre-op diet. I hope I lose even more, but hopefully at least like 10 before then. And yeah, I have like a month and a half to do that, so we'll see. I don't know, and I don't want it to just be water weight either, because I get really bloated on planes and like from flights. Like I get dehydrated and bloated, and I feel like I'm gonna arrive and they're gonna be like, why do you weigh what you weighed before? And I'll be like, I'm so bloated. But we'll see. Anyway, I made my deposit. That's a little scary to make a deposit like that and just be like, okay, well, here's $500 and hopefully you mean what you say and hopefully you're legitimate. I mean, I know there's a lot of other reviews out there and stuff for this company, and I'm pretty sure that their reputation matters to them, so it shouldn't be that bad. And I told my mom tonight that I booked my flight, and my mom is actually like surprisingly supportive lately, and I showed her this video that my future VSG doctor had on YouTube, and he just like sounds very professional and has done some really professional things in his career. And so I think that really put my mom's mind at ease. And I also said to her that I felt like if she knows me at all, she should trust that I've made a smart decision for myself. And she said she agreed, and she knew that I wouldn't just make a rash decision and that I would, you know, think through what I was doing. So she feels okay with it now. My sister is another story. My sister like freaked out at me last week about getting weight loss surgery in Mexico, and it was like extremely disheartening. It was something that you don't want to hear. It was like everything you don't want to hear. Like, I wish that you would just try to lose weight the normal way. Why don't you go to the gym and exercise? Why don't you diet? I haven't seen you on a serious diet in the past however long. I don't even know what she said. I actually did like a pure liquid diet probably like 6 months ago before I really made the decision to get VSG surgery for a couple of weeks, and it was really hard, and I did it, and I lost a decent amount of weight in those couple of weeks, but obviously it's really unsustainable. So for her to say that was like really offensive, and I don't know, I was just like really offended. And I know that this might sound a little bit ridiculous to some people, but maybe for some people with siblings who haven't had as much of a weight problem, they'll understand. My sister has always struggled with her weight, as have I, our entire lives, so we both have. But my sister's always been significantly lighter than me too. And I feel like part of the reason that she's so resistant to me having this surgery is because I really think that she's afraid that in the end, or at some point, I'll weigh less than she does, or that I'll be smaller than she is. And I think she doesn't know how to deal with that. And I think the idea of that is really upsetting to her. And I'm sure that that's part of it deep down somewhere. So I don't know. Anyway, I know it's hard to accept. I know it's going to be a big change. I know that I'll change through the process and everything, but at the same time, it's for my health. She knows that, and she'll just have to come to terms with it, I guess. It's hard, but I don't know. So my mom's been really supportive. A lot of my friends have not. My sister hasn't been. My husband's really supportive, which is great. And actually, for our anniversary today, one of the little gifts that he gave me was a weight loss surgery for dummies book, which at first I was like, oh my god. But no, seriously, like, it looks like there's some really yummy recipes in there and probably some really good ideas for before, during, and after weight loss surgery, which is really cool. So, I don't know. And I'm so, like, grateful for him. Like, he's thinking of me and my best interest and what I really am into right now and want and need and everything. So, it's really cool. Also, as far as saving money has gone, I've been saving quite a bit. I'm racking up the credit cards a little too, though, not gonna lie. And I don't know if you guys are interested in this or not, but I went to pay for my deposit for my surgeon, and PayPal has like PayPal credit or whatever, and I've never used it before, and I didn't really know anything about it, but they finance stuff free for like the first 6 months apparently, and my surgeon does charge like a 4% fee for using PayPal, which is fine. It's PayPal's fee. You're just paying them back for it. But there's no finance charge for 6 months, which I thought was so cool. And I just like clicked through, and I use PayPal a lot anyway, so they probably have a lot of my info. But I clicked through a couple of things. I probably gave them my social. And I was approved for like a decent amount of money. So now I'm not so worried about saving. I know that if I have to fall back on it, I'll have that PayPal credit that I can use, and I know that my surgeon doesn't charge like an exorbitant amount to pay via PayPal, which is cool. Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. This video is getting kind of long, and I feel like I've rambled quite a bit. So if you've stuck with me to the end, I appreciate it. Let me know what you guys want to hear about, any issues or things that you're curious about. Message me if you're, curious about who I'm using as a surgeon, or if you're going down to Tijuana soon, for the surgery. Yeah, love to hear from you guys, and subscribe if you want, and, thank you for commenting if you do, and that's all. Take care. Bye!